everybody, and welcome back to The New Nasty Boys. I'm your co-host this morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you decide to watch or listen to this thing, Billy DeVore. And sitting next to me is my co-host,
Chris Weir. What's up, Nasty Nation? Welcome back to the Fart Dungeon.
Smells just the way I left it. Nice and rank and fresh.
Rank and fresh.
Rank and fresh.
There's old and new coagulating together. It's a really funky smell down here.
It's a real good funk, nice spunk, and it's just about time that we've been down here enough, in like weeks in a row, that everything's just melded, and we continue adding, so there's no mold growing.
Exactly. It's like a cast iron plate. You don't want to scrape any of it off. Just keep building.
Yeah, don't you dare get out the soap.
Oh, you fool.
You idiot. Don't get out that Dawn. Just let her mellow. Let her hang out, you know?
Yeah, baby.
I love how I just gendered the fart as her. Let her hang out.
Hey, that's quite all right, man.
Which, I guess, normally farts are fluid.
Yeah,
so.
I have very fluid farts.
Which, no wiping. Again, let it build. Let it grow.
But sometimes my farts do, go by she-it. Sorry, that was so stupid. I was saying, I'm not going to say that. And I was like, God damn it.
There you go. Look, that is not any type of gender phobic. That's just a fucking great joke.
It's a dumb one, but it worked.
It worked. It checked out. Mm-hmm. Totally worked. How was your week?
It was amazing. It was all right. It was some family stuff, watching the Reds, ups and downs there. Was taking it easy on the comedy a little bit there. So I was just trying to chill, throw some beers back, say hey to fam, and try not to jump off a bridge watching the Reds. What about you?
Oh, well, on Thursday, I skipped the Reds and went and saw Deadpool Wolverine, which was fun. It was super fun.
Yeah, we want to watch that.
Look, Alicia does not go to comic book movies with me, and I don't blame her. Not her thing. We each have our own things. So she threatened to break up with me after Age of Ultron. So that was a while ago.
Yeah?
So kind of learn my lesson a little bit.
Did you guys bury the Thor hammer?
Hey, we sure did. Yeah, we did. We put those claws out back. We let them settle. And so I went and saw that. It was super fun. If you're a fan, go see it. Don't expect any type of brevity or true heart. It's just cheap thrills and fun cameos.
I can do that. That's my speed for the comic book movies. I'm not really a comic book movie fan. I used to collect comics as a youngin'.
Sure.
Was into that Spider-Man, Superman, give it to me. But the movies don't really do it for me. It just seems very I feel like I'm consuming a product. And it's hard to disassociate myself from I did exactly what those execs wanted to do.
Now, okay, I will say there's a difference. Logan had me in the feels. That was a great comic book movie that was well constructed, top to bottom, tearjerker too. I'm all right, that, and then Batman, the Nolan trilogy, and especially the Batman with Robert Pattinson was excellent. So I'm there is room for these well-crafted, well-done comic book movies. Marvel, it is just in one ear, out the other. That was fun.
Yeah.
And that is exactly what I needed.
Yeah, I can go for the Wolverine. I can watch that Deadpool. It's fun. It's silly. Fun. Breaking fourth walls.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds did a great job with that. One of the lines in it was he kept calling himself Marvel Jesus because these movies they've sucked since the Avengers, huh?
They keep bringing me back.
And I'm here. It was a good love letter to the 20th Century Fox ones. And that's a dinger from Ty France!
Hey, how about it? That's his first one.
Yeah!
Good job, buddy. He almost had one in the third inning or second inning, I think.
That's beautiful. That's a guy that I want to get going, dude. He's got the potential. He was just we talked about last week, in a not-so-friendly hitter's park. And now he's all right, let's put up some numbers against Miami. Dude, he clubbed that. That was
straight
right
away.
in the sweet spot. That was beautiful. Reds are up 7-0. It is top of the fourth. So this is the series they needed so badly after what an awful, brutal weekend.
Yeah, that wasn't fun getting to watch those games. Really pissed one away at least. The no-hit, we talked about.
No. We'll get to it because we got a lot to cover.
Yeah, I'm trying to recall where we're at, but it was a bit deflating. And now the Reds are looking up from the cellar in the Central and just trying to figure out how we can string wins together here to get back into the playoff hunt.
And the schedule promising for the rest of the month. They can make up some ground. So we have some hope. Is it much? No, but we have some.
Yeah.
We're holding on to that 4.3% playoff odds chance. We're just hanging on by the tail while we're getting dragged.
Yeah, exactly. We're both optimistic and realists at the same time. We just know that the window right now, although it's open in general terms of them winning, playoff series, but right now they are finding themselves in a bit of a pickle.
A little bit of a pickle. So let's start with some lighthearted stuff. Okay? And then we'll build to the devastating and the awful. So we'll start here, and then we'll work our way down. And then, like always, the Reds will continue to win while we're recording on this Monday, and we'll get our hopes back up. And then the rest of the week happens, and it just keeps doing this. And it's so odd because I thought there was a GM in 2022 who said we are trying to eliminate peaks and valleys. Mm-hmm. That sure has not happened, has it?
No, it hasn't. It's been pretty dynamic, like the feelings of highs and lows. And with the trade deadline, they decided to not solve the issues that were present the entire year.
Nope, didn't fix them. They're obvious. We can all see them, but they said, let it ride. Mm-hmm. So that's Nick Krall's response at the trade deadline.
Burp, gas.
Burp, gas, fart dunge. Mm-hmm. Lighthearted.
Light-farted. Sorry.
Delicious. Mm-hmm. So, today, MLB and MILB, Minor League Baseball, got together and they developed what they call the Munchie Mitt. Now, I'd like to admit it's brilliant.
Yeah, from a funny standpoint, it is pretty brilliant. It seems like something that you'd see on Temu or something like that.
Yeah, it's definitely something that would be targeted towards like your beer league softball.
Yeah. It seems like something that would cost like 97 cents and you get 100 bottles of mustard with it.
I can tell you what, I can play right center field and it holds 4 Coors.
Yeah, it's meant to be for fans, but we can definitely see some players using it on the field.
Yeah, I can see it being used in a rec league behind a Catholic church. I would use that.
That would be pretty nice.
Given.
I'd like a utility belt.
Oh,
that's what I was thinking would be better.
Okay, so utility belt, couple holsters for dogs.
Oh my God, the crossbar right there. Oh. Hot dog, brat, mustard.
You'd be looking like that guy from, it's not Counting Crows, it's the other, Blues Traveler.
Oh, Blues Traveler.
You with the harmonica thing, but instead it's just hot dog, hot sauce packets.
You
Spicy brown mustard.
You hear me wheezing though.
That's just me when we have this turned up too loud.
Yeah.
Most people are like, oh, listen to this fatty talk about baseball. I can hear the sweat.
I can hear his excitement.
Yeah, I can. Yep. Nope, that's relish. He's relishing the moment. Dude, what's so sick is the pocket of the glove, you press up on it, and it moves the hot dog up.
That is pretty nifty there.
Just a little thumb slide, and you're munching into a Big Red Smoky. That's amazing.
You got to be careful, though. You don't want to shove your thumb all the way up there, and then you go bite the top off.
Or you do it a little too hard, you're gagging on a dog. Mm-hmm. You're like, oh, I'm getting a nice, healthy...
But then they also have a straw you can put in your mouth, squeeze some water, your beer in there, dislodge it.
Yeah, you already have something that can stop you from choking. It's pretty beautiful. Also, the pocket for the ketchup mustard, amazing. The straw that goes into your mouth for the drink. There is nothing wrong with this product, except for one thing. They won't let me buy it.
Yeah, come on. You guys can make a pretty penny off of this.
Cowards. Set it up. Put it on the MILB.com. Let me buy it. Let me have it. Let me live out my dream of being able to eat a hot dog out of a baseball glove without having to use my other hand.
It's like George Costanza when he tries to combine sex and food and TV. That's all we're trying to do. Baseball, food, TV, sex. We got to have something else. We can include another robot or something onto this glove.
We could do... Well, here's the thing you're forgetting. Drink. That's already the other thing that's in there.
No. We got the drink, the food, the mustard, the fleshlight. That's what we need. That's the Munchie Mitt.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I put my low A in that glove. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't mess around. And you with the fleshlight, you already have lube, mustard, ketchup,
Exactly.
relish. Dude, done.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Make my hot dog. Mm-hmm. That's dumb. I hate myself for even doing that one.
Well, that's all right.
Okay, well, we'll live
Is that
in it.
mayonnaise? Not really.
Oh, that's that hot white mustard. What was the Troy Baxley joke? Went to the Pride Parade today. Oh, didn't know they served hot dogs through the fence. Just slid it right out there. I was like, oh, is that hot white mustard?
Oh, goodness.
Oh, man. Just one of the dumb Baxley jokes.
Yeah, it's terrific.
Oh, man. Oh, speaking of eating out of trash, there's a company on eBay called Rival Madness who posted on their eBay account not one, but two hot dog buns from the 2017 World Series, Houston versus LA. And these are hot dog buns from LA.
And I can't tell, but I do see a sticker on there. Are these authenticated?
So they do have the hologram sticker. They are not authenticated. The description is excellent condition with a shellac varnish to preserve. Also was pulled from trash, so do not eat. Does not include the hologram sticker.
It's a good photo.
It's a great photo. I mean, that's a sparkly bun.
It really is. I can see it on the mantle right here. Mm-hmm. That could be pretty cool. I think it's a funny idea.
I'll tell you what. All of it to the wind, I would still eat it.
Yeah?
Yeah, why not? It's a piece of history.
Yeah, it's just shellac, too.
Yeah, come on. I'd shellac it down.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time I ate shellac, all right?
And you know what? My tummy could use a good cleaning.
Exactly.
You know, clean me from the inside out.
Yeah, get all the varnish off of me in there. Come on, let's spray down the walls on the inside.
Yeah, dude. Who needs Pepto-Bismol or, say, some kombucha when you could just have a shellac varnish come on through and just, lemon fresh and pleasure up.
That's how you do it, man. Just eat stuff you find under the sink. I will say that all the time in this podcast. If it's under the sink, it's for you to grab. They wouldn't put it there within arm's reach. All right?
Yeah, if there aren't kid locks on the little doors, I'm eating it. Mm-hmm. Those are the rules. Here's the big bummer. They said also was pulled from trash, so do not eat. We're talking about the 2017 World Series with the Houston Astros. How do you not say, also was pulled from trash can where they were banging for signals?
There you go. That it immediately increases the humor value, and I might buy it.
I would buy it immediately then. $50? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't need it to be authenticated. That truly does look like a Dodger Dog bun. I'll buy it.
That looks like trash. I'll eat it. Just tell me you found it in the trash. You don't need it shellac. I mean, I'll provide the shellac. I got it.
Also, again, I feel like you mentioned George Costanza too soon because this came from the trash.
Exactly.
And not to eat from the top of the trash, even though if it's just sitting on top of the trash, it is trash. But George's rules, it is not trash.
It didn't cross the threshold of the top of the bin.
Dude, I have done that.
Okay.
Okay? I think
I've done it too.
Yeah. There's someone who just threw away the rest of their lunch, and then you see a little bit of like a couple chips, some dip, and you go, that's good chip and dip right there, or a couple French fries. So you just go and you grab it and you eat it. It's still in the container. It's just resting on top of the trash. Mm-hmm. I think that's totally fair.
Were you hammered when you did this?
No, sober at work in the middle of the day.
With people watching. In the middle of a meeting.
I was like, yeah, no, we really need to make these shirts. Yeah, we can make this happen. Sorry. Yeah, Steve didn't finish his lunch, coward.
I love how you come back to the lunch table eating the rest of somebody's lunch that they knew they just threw away. Is that my BLT?
Yeah, it is. You left a B and a T.
Yeah, come on, man.
I'm going to eat 2/3 of my favorite summer meal. Wimp. Let me finish that.
Yeah, man. I want to buy that shellac bun, put it in the Munchie Mitt, and go to town.
Oh, yes. A great combo. Mm-hmm. Excellent. My whole thing is, what a great marketing ploy. Because then I checked out the rest of their eBay store, and I was like, man, good job on you.
I think it's funny. Selling like pretty much like fake memorabilia are just really bad. I think that's a hilarious thing that they should excavate more.
Oh, dude. Game used authenticated Barry Bonds needles. I'd buy that. And then...
Shotzi shit.
Shotzi shit would be a good one.
Petrified dog shit.
Authentic Marge Schott swastika sleeves.
A big, long cigarette ash from Marge Schott.
Oh, fuck. That's great. Oh, man. Is that... Yeah, that's who that is. That's Garrett Cole's spider tack from 2019. You can see it's half used. And there's one of Kate Upton's eyelashes in there, too. Pretty neat.
Oh, this is one of George Brett's hemorrhoids. How about that? Game used.
Oh, here's the big Hertz low T numbers from his last doctor visit before using eugenics.
His doctor's like form. See, he's got low T, man. I'll tell you.
I got a low T. So, well, I'll see if Fanatics wants it. I'll sign it.
That's great.
Oh, that's so fun. There's so much we could do. Now we just want to set up a fake eBay store and do all this.
That'd be hilarious.
Let's do it. The new Nasty Boys on eBay. Check us out. I already tried to set up the OnlyFans a couple years ago, and they wouldn't let us have it. So
Too sexy.
yeah, they said these guys were too horny.
It was nuts, man. It was really nuts.
Yeah, it was really nuts. I like to mention one of your jokes. We were trying to sell farts in jars, but the problem wasn't the farts themselves. It was what happened when we stressed too hard.
Got a little bit extra.
A little extra, and we might have cracked a seal or two.
Yeah, and the demand wasn't really there, but our hearts were. Our hearts and our farts were.
Hearts and farts were in it. Hearts and farts and prayers.
That's
all in there.
That's our Care Bears. Hearts, farts, and prayers.
Hearts, farts, and cares. Look, guys, okay. We did the fun stuff. We lightened up the mood. Top of the sixth, the Reds are winning 7-0. Okay, we've been here before. It's the first game of a series. Okay, this week sucked. There's no good way to put it. The Reds had another 500 week, and they went into the trade deadline limping in, and they're limping right back out. This team didn't get any better. Did they get any worse? I mean, I don't know. Nick Martinez just went out there and pitched 5 innings, 4 hits, no earned runs, 5 Ks.
I do want to point that out. We did say Nick Martinez was going to be traded. Really thought that was going to happen. Looking at the tea leaves, still with the team. So some things did and didn't happen. But yeah, buddy, I feel like we really shit the bed as far as trades go, and I'm not too pleased.
No, I'm not either. And the big message from this trade deadline was, okay, we move Frankie because we saw that Nick Martinez was pitching better. Okay, that's fine. Make him expendable. He's also your second highest paid player this year. Mm-hmm. So I feel like they moved him not just because of that, but it was also a little bit of a salary dump. Mm-hmm. Joey Weimer is fine. He's never really hit at the big league level. And Jacob Junis is fine. He can give you some innings out of the bullpen. This week wasn't good to him. That appearance against the Cubs wasn't great. You kind of hope that there's a little bit more in the tank there. And Lucas Sims, you got a 19-year-old who hit 100 on a gun. You didn't go and fix your offense. What you did get was some words of encouragement saying, if we just win one extra game a week, we're still in it. And we've got Matt McClain coming back. We got Emilio Pagan coming back. We've got Brent Suter coming back. We've got all these guys coming back. Stay tuned.
Yeehaw.
And a trade deadline where they not one top 100 prospect moved, this was your chance to go and get a bat.
You had people to be moved. You had options. I don't think we can look at this other than a failure for the front office to address what was the biggest glaring issue. If they really wanted to compete for the second half or post, all-star post-trade, them not addressing the offense issue, specifically in the outfield, tells me they chose to not address this.
Yeah, they just let it ride. They just were like, whatever, this, whatever, it is what it is. I mean, and it also shows in what they said from Charlie Goldsmith on Twitter. The Reds were also in the buyer market, talking to teams about veteran position players and starting pitchers. Offers where the Reds could be buying, quote, came up short. Kroll said there were 1 or 2 close moves overall.
So I would like to see how close those moves were and who were they for, because if they were on the precipice of getting somebody, I mean, that would change how I feel about their approach to it. However, it doesn't change the outcome that we have of still being in the same position we were before the deadline.
Yeah, but also just slightly lateral. I mean, we covered Lucas Sims in the 8th inning and how it was not a success. especially this year. We talked about the struggles that Frankie Montas has had of late. But the thing that was reported on The Athletic was that the Reds were just one prospect away from trading for Trevor Rogers. Fucking why?
That wasn't the issue. Like, that's not going to solve anything. Like, getting another pitcher isn't going to increase your offense.
No, yeah. You're going to have your starter give up maybe one less run in an outing? He could go 6 1/3 and give up 2 earned runs, but then we only score 1. Still lose. Yeah,
it's not good. I mean, especially when you have pitchers like Hunter Greene out there, although he got some run support as of late. But when you have a guy that's been throwing .33 over the past 5-6 starts, wherever it is.
.27.
There we go. And he only has 2 wins, I think, out of that span. That's not a pitching issue.
Yeah, that is definitely not. And it also continues with this from Mick Krall. Our goal is not to dismantle this team. We did that in 2022 and went through a full rebuild. We could have 3 or 4 more relievers if we wanted to go down that road. We do have a shot. We wanted to give this team a shot. You didn't give them a shot by giving them a shot in the arm of offense.
Yeah, dude, that's such a cop-out for an actual response. And, of course, like, you're not going to dismantle this team. There was several key players that have gone through some injuries that changed the complexion of what this team was going to look like. So you have good players coming next year, a healthier team. But this just seems to be a response that's not giving us anything to really chew on here.
Right. And also, if you trade 3 or 4 guys who are on expiring contracts, and then you talk about how you have this depth that's coming out from being healthy, you have dudes that you can't send back down because of that. So so you're just going to DFA them and get nothing? That's what that says to me.
Yeah, it just seems like, and this is something too that you're probably going to talk about here. It was just Krall has a seemingly. I don't want to like knock. I'm not like calling for his head like a lot of people, but I am familiar with where the guillotine is. So, but.
Ain't far away.
Yeah, it ain't far away. So I do respect the things that Krall has done positively to get some of the new, younger talent here. However, the fixation, I think, with his prospects, as well as anything that seems to get in the way of like his perfect vision, he just can't, audible and like, dude, we got to do something here to address the issues. And he's just throwing his hands up. It's like, well, the perfect scenario I had set out didn't happen. So what am I supposed to do?
What am I supposed to do? Also, I have to keep the cost of rent down. I got to have this team's got to be rent controlled. Like they want to keep it young and have these guys come up and succeed so they don't have to pay them. I get that. I get that you got a shoestring budget. But if you want to be serious about winning and having people continue to come out to the ballpark, you have to spend a little bit more money.
Yeah, that's how you get some more revenue there. I mean, just think about like coming off of like some of Ellie's bigger games. You go in that next week on a homestand, place is packed.
Yeah.
And the amount of like jerseys that are being bought, like when you have a winning organization, that increases your revenue. So it's just hard for me to wrap my brain around like why they would choose to be middle of the road.
Because it's cheaper to buy bobbleheads and give them away than to sign a player.
That's a good answer.
It's cheaper to renovate a section of the ballpark and have the MLB's first ever sensory room instead of going to get another player. And it continues to build on your investment that is the ballpark that doesn't actually belong to them.
Very true.
You think about that. So instead, they would rather put money in on an investment that they have that's going to stick around than instead of pay a player to make the team better so that they win so that people will come. Instead, they'll be there so they can go to the Optics deck and continue to play cornhole.
Come on, man. We invested in some drones. We got some stuff to do.
Yeah, we're Canadian soccer. We have drones.
We would love to invest in players, but we need to get a hot dog luge going. Actually, no, let's get the hot dog luge.
You know what? Instead of signing a free agent bat or trading for someone like Jorge Soler, who could be here for a couple more years, has a ton of power, and in his career has hit 50 and 51 home runs in one season, we should probably get a second gun for Redzilla.
I was just thinking the same thing. I was like, we need to get some new tires for Redzilla.
You know what? What if we could take Redzilla into the river?
Yeah, we could.
We could. Wait, do we need a veteran fifth starter? No, we need to get floaties for Redzilla.
Come on, make him a land, sea, and air guy. Let's do it. Let's get some more. Let's get a ball gag for Gapper. That's what we need.
What if Redzilla fought Godzilla? That was a moonshot from Jesus Sanchez. There's a guy who was probably available for the right price.
I would say so. There's options out there, and the fact that we just seem to have tunnel vision for just a select handful of outcomes is pretty upsetting.
Yeah. Dude, they could have... I know you don't want to ever trade with the Rays, but like Randy Arozarena, the one that I did mention earlier that I do want to lock in on is Jorge Soler. The Braves traded Tyler Batsick, who is hurt in the reliever, and Sabin Caballos, a 21-year-old third base prospect who didn't even sneak into the Giants' top 30 board, for Jorge Soler.
Yeah.
They're just eating the money. They're like, we'll take the contract for the next 2 years, which is $16 million a year, with the rate of inflation going and how this offseason's going to go, and with Soto's deal going to be rising the tide for all other contracts, that's going to be a pretty good deal for the next couple years.
Yeah, and if it would have gone to the Reds, that's a great deal because that just really widens the lane that we have to succeed and maybe make the playoffs this year. But it just seems to be like the money just isn't worth it to them. I don't know what it is.
No. Let's look at the other one. Brian De La Cruz, who went to the Pirates, okay? He won't be a free agent until 2028. He's hitting arbitration, his first year arbitration next year, so he's still going to be pretty inexpensive. The Pirates dealt Garrett Forrester and pitching prospect Yun Suk Shim. That's a fun one. Yun Suk Shim.
That's a fun name, buddy.
Suk Shim moves into the 20th spot in the Fishes prospect. Oh God, Jacob Junis again. Nope, we're good. It's on the warning track. Yun Suk Shim he moved into their 20th spot on their top 30th prospects, according to MLB.com. Brian De La Cruz has 18 homers this season, had a career-high 19 in 153 games last year. Again, in a massive ballpark in Miami at the Fish Tank. They didn't give up, like, shit.
No.
They gave up some guys. No top 100 prospect was traded at the trade deadline. Of course, it was a seller's market if you looked at it that way. If I'm looking at it as that was a buyer's market, I didn't have to get rid of any of my top guys to go get some solid pieces.
Yeah, and with the way the Reds' offense is going, especially in right field, almost any addition that you have is going to be above a lateral move. And there was plenty of prospects that the Reds have. Granted, there's some good ones, but you can trade it in for current applicable talent right now.
Right now. And they didn't. And instead they go, well, McLean is coming back. Could. He doesn't think so. I'm leaning towards not too. Maybe Jake Fraley starts to hit. Maybe. Maybe Will Benson turns a corner and finds some consistency for the rest of the year after he comes back from the maternity list. Maybe.
This is what we're banking on. It's a bunch of maybes, hopes, and just making sure the gang's all going to be back together. Things are just going to work out swell.
It's going to be great. We're just going to keep going the way we're going because expected wins and losses are actually real wins and losses.
How about it?
How crazy. Did you know that?
I didn't know it.
I didn't either. Damn. Did you know that? Who cares about if you actually go out and score runs, win or lose games? The Pythagorean theorem has got you covered.
Yeah, don't worry about it. We got plenty of time. It's just August.
Yeah, it's just August. And
Who cares?
It's just another year that you're wasting of Ellie De La Cruz. It's just another year you're wasting of all of this young, controllable talent. Another year that you're wasting of Hunter Greene. Another year wasting of Nick Lodolo. Another year you're wasting of Andrew Abbott. Another year you're wasting of Carson Spires. Another year that you're wasting of Alexis Diaz. All of these dudes that are young and controllable and cheap. Throw it away.
But we did have some great bobbleheads this year. Terrific. Great job, front office.
We did a great job. We also installed the Laura's Lean Beef's wet slide in center field that if you cover yourself in enough marinara, you can slide down like the fat little meatball you are.
And you land in a big pile of jus.
Don't forget to grab your complimentary mozzarella towel on the way out.
It smells like onions.
The more you use it, it turns to curds.
My blanket's curdling.
It's just like, look, I understand a lot of people's frustrations. I get it. I'm not saying fire Crawl. I'm not saying sell the team. And for fuck's sake, I'm not saying fire David Bell.
No.
What I am saying is be better. Be better, because everyone has their strengths and weaknesses. Jobs, hobbies, life, love, whatever it may be. You are good at some things in relationships, and you're bad at some things in relationships. Mm-hmm. And Crawl's bad thing is just costing the Reds an opportunity to go from under 500 to be in the race, solidifying it, and going to the playoffs and bringing thousands of people happiness.
Yeah, dude, he gets right up to the line, and then he gets flaccid. He just can't make the move.
No, he can't. You know what? I think he's just a big edge guy.
He could be.
He's a big edger. Mm-hmm. Massive edger. It just, man, it's okay. Like, what can you do? Like, what can we, like, what, okay, I've got it. 2020, this offseason, what are your expectations?
2020 this offseason?
What are your expectations the 2024, 2025 offseason?
Okay, my expectations is to make sure the team comes back healthy, make sure we're doing the right things to have a solid group of guys, specifically in terms of everyone's going to be able to play 162 if possible, and add to the offense. We have to add at least 1-2 more bats. We need to have a solution for what is clearly the biggest issue that the Reds have. So making sure that we are on a good track health-wise, as well as figuring out what's going on in right field.
I agree. Here's the problem. Those are my expectations for the offseason. I'm with you on power right fielder. The problem is you go into this offseason, you're losing Buck Farmer, Ian Jabot, Justin Wilson, Nick Martinez, Emilio Pagan. And you have to sign a right fielder. It would have been easier for them to go and make a move for a bat right now and go for it than completely have to retool and rebuild this bullpen this offseason.
Yeah, so them sitting back on their hands is causing an issue that we're going to cross later, next season.
Which Crawl should have acknowledged that instead of being like, well, there's some guys that are out of options. It's like that also means that there's going to be more work that you're going to have to do to make this team just as good next year.
Exactly. That doesn't mean it's going to get easier next year. That means the options are going to be fewer, potentially. If it's difficult now, well, what's going to happen next year when we're losing a bunch of guys and have less leverage?
Yeah, and you're rolling the dice when you have to get into the free agency pool of relievers. And we saw that with Emilio Pagan. He's been out most of the year. Mm-hmm. Brent Suter's got that injury, but he's recovering faster. He'll be back in the next 2 weeks. But still, that's a lot that you're going to take a gamble on. Instead, you'd rather hold on to your 33rd, 19-year-old prospect out at Daytona. Mm-hmm. And he could be a maybe. And not go and trade for someone like any of the dudes that we mentioned.
Those are our favorite players, Hope and Prayer.
Hope and Prayer. So, Matt McClain had a stress reaction in his rib cage, and he got limited to 3 to 7 days. Possibly could still be starting his rehab assignment on the 12th.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, if it wasn't an injury that was his shoulder, anything to do with that lat, that's fine. I mean, you still don't want to hear anything about injuries as far as especially Matt McClain is concerned. But, just more of the same as far as the injuries go.
More of the same. And so, I don't know. I'm not saying fire Nick Crawl. I'm not saying that at all. But I am saying this offseason, if he doesn't do what he needs to do to make this a contender, then I have an issue.
Yeah, if we're choosing again not to do something, then that tells me okay, you're choosing to not do what you can do as your, in your power in the front office to make them a winner. So that's going to be a situation.
Yeah, and then the ownership group needs to open up their pockets a little bit more. They got to dig into the wallet, open it up and go, hey, you know how we make money is keeping this thing busy. So that's by bringing in players to supplement, and it'll qualm all of the schmucks who are on Twitter, who are on Reddit saying, sell the team, fire Crawl, and fire Bell. I don't blame David Bell for them not getting a power bat. I do blame him for continuing to roll out Fernando Cruz.
I think we're done as far as like the Fernando Cruz putting him in the high leverage situations. Man, I really enjoy. He's such a fun story. He was doing great at the beginning of the year, and is slowly but surely it started. It seems like his arm is just gassed.
It's over. It's toast. It's about to fall off. Luckily, Emilio Pagan had a great outing in Louisville. He'll be back the 8th. So then you slide him into that high leverage situation. And if you have it where it's favoring lefties, then you put Sam Mull in that situation. Done. You figured it out.
Made some moves.
You made some moves. Hey, the deadline worked. They got a reliever back.
How about it? There we go.
And Ian Jabot should be back by the middle to close to the middle end of August as well. So it just sucks because then you know the offense was the problem. You needed to address it because it's violently inconsistent. And then I'm sitting at the ballpark on Friday, and I'm watching a no-hitter happen.
Bummer.
Blake Snell, first time he's ever pitched a Great American Ballpark.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, that worm-looking motherfucker.
That dude looks like a punk and talks like one, too.
Dude, he is. He has the black scent. It's hilarious.
He has never been burdened with a thought in his life. Dude, and think about like how that game started in what, like an hour delay?
Yeah, which is great because then just cheaper drinks it in between.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, that game could have been much different there. I mean, think about it. If they didn't have that delay, probably would have been a different outcome, just a totally different mindset. But yeah, that was brutal watching that. But fortunately, I was not in the stadium to feel that impact from a very deflated Reds fan base.
It was awful. I mean, that was just accelerant to the fire. For everyone who's online, like, take him down. We need to take to the streets, sell the team. They're just like, I just watched a no. It's that guy's fucking fault. So, not anybody on the field. That guy in that box over there, the guy in his office over there. It's their fault.
All the people not on the field right now. That's their fault.
That's their fault. Not the guys underperforming at all.
Yeah, and there is like some stuff obvious. Like I don't understand like the hate for David Bell, but just seeing like the way people like will attack him and stuff. It's like he's not making all these. Just he's not the one on the field. Like there's some stuff I disagree with, but for the most part, it's just like I feel like it's just like people just looking for one singular person to point the finger at.
Yeah, well, they're saying like he mismanaged the bullpen, which is what's costing a lot of the one-run games. I agree and disagree. I agree that there have been some moves that they have made that has truly cost them. And a lot of the time, it's just someone not stepping up and performing. Lucas Sims. And now he's gone. So there's that for sure. But guess what? That's not all Bell making that decision.
Yeah, and looking at professional pitchers, one gripe that I have is if you're coming in from the bullpen and you can't throw strikes, I have a hard time blaming that on anybody else besides the person holding the ball. That's been like a situation as of late. And yeah, I do have some disagreements with how he uses his pen. However, it seems like 9 times out of 10 in these one-run games, the problem normally is our lack of offense and not hitting with runners in scoring position and just, just not performing at the plate.
Or it's also, like you said, not performing at the plate. That's a part of it. But the big part is giving away outs and the philosophy that they have, which is try and get the extra base all the time. Speed. We're fast. We're faster than you no matter what you think. Oh, you're a professional baseball player too? We're throwing you out at home on contact.
We just saw it again today.
With Jonathan India. Did it matter because they're winning 7-1? Well, I don't think it'll matter. But does that matter in a one-run game?
Absolutely. How many times have we seen that an out being made at the plate when it didn't have to? That ball was hit to shortstop. It's right in front of him. He didn't have to go. It's just these bonehead plays where we run ourselves out of an inning, and it's really hard to build back that momentum, especially when we're coming back late at the end of a game.
Yep, and that is a philosophy that is organizational.
Yeah.
That is a decision between Krall. That's a decision between J.R. House. That's a decision that was made with Nick Krall. That was a decision made top to bottom. Now you're saying, well, if we fire Bell, these problems will all be solved. No, they won't. Because guess what? You fire him, they're going to want to bring in a new regime. And do you really want to get rid of the pitching coach who has been knocking it out of the park with these young guys and with this bullpen that has been pieced together with bubblegum and toothpicks since 2022?
I am really impressed with, in general, the pitching that is going on, the bullpen, the way we've just changed our philosophy on the base path. I do really enjoy that. I do find that there's so much value with that. Just being able to instruct these young players of when it is appropriate to get that extra bag or not. Ellie is going to do some phenomenal things, and just having him be able to temper back. You don't need to turn every single into a double, especially when you're going to take that base in 2 pitches anyways.
Yeah.
So he's run himself out of things, but definitely get those outs at the plate. That translates to me as a philosophy issue, as well as a lot of times the players when it's like a bang, bang play and not holding back. So it's not a one person accepts all the blame. It's spread around mostly evenly, but I'm putting most of it on the players currently. But if Krall doesn't do something, that's signaling to me that he is not fully invested into this organization.
No, yeah. And the other thing is, someone described it to me as this, or I heard it on a podcast, where if you're running and you're constantly running, trying to get that other base, say it's second base to third base or first to second, you're trying to get there. You don't have power, and that's the only way you can score runs. That's poverty baseball.
Yeah, that is a good way to put it. It's like, why are we doing this? Well, because we can't get the extra base hits. We have to steal them.
Yeah, we have to try and find a way to do that. And that's just been the problem with this team. And look, the other one, just you're wasting an amazing year from Hunter Greene. We had complained at the beginning of this year, we're like, we really need to see him turn a corner. This is the year where Hunter Greene turns a corner. Well, he has stepped up and turned the corner. After his start on Sunday, Sarah Langs tweeted this out. Hunter Greene, 40-plus strikeouts, 10 or fewer hits, and 1 or 0 runs allowed in a 5-start span since 1900. 2021, Jacob deGrom. 2024, Hunter Greene. That's the list.
That is incredible. And if you've been watching Hunter, you can tell there's an entirely different demeanor that he has on the mound right now. He's locked in. He knows what he's throwing. It seems like the hitters in the box are just behind him in every way imaginable right now.
He's pitching.
Yes, absolutely.
He's pitching to the ceiling. When we talked about his ceiling and all of his gifts, this is it. 21 inning scoreless streak, allowed 1 run in 33 innings. And over his last 5 starts, a .27 ERA, third lowest batting average against among qualified starting pitchers, .182. But we didn't want to trade for a bat.
No, let's just waste that.
Hunter Greene is the only MLB pitcher in the modern era to throw at least 30 innings while allowing no more than 10 hits and no more than 1 run over a 5-start span. Up to stats. Another one. Most consecutive starts allowing 1 or 0 runs, Reds in a single season. 1938, Johnny Vandermeer with 6, and 2024, Hunter Greene 6. One of those guys has a statue. Mm-hmm. The other one keeps it up, could have a statue. But remember, the 29th best prospect for the Reds is more important than packaging him with someone else to go and get a bat when you have this elite starting pitching to put yourself in a position to go on a run and try and get into the playoffs where anything can happen.
It's happening right now. We could do this. We could invest into it. But, that shiny mystery box. What's going to happen with this? It's like, no, invest into it right now. And going on top of what we're talking about with Hunter, one of us here talked about Hunter maybe winning the Cy Young Award. I don't know. But,
who knows?
But it's an optical thing too, because if your team is at the bottom, of your division, if you aren't a contender and you keep losing games, he's going to get overshadowed. He's going to get overlooked. The Reds were, over 500, a few games back, from clinching that last playoff spot. There would be so much more conversation going on around about him. There's a lot, but he's not in that limelight because the Reds aren't playing well right now.
Nope. And he's just getting lost in the sauce.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks. It really, really, really sucks.
Mm-hmm.
And good thing they locked him down when they did. That was a good call.
Seriously, man. It'd be so much more expensive right now. So that's one headache we don't have to worry about. So I'm glad Hunter Greene is going to be a Red for a little while here.
Yeah, and Carson Spires on Monday. 5 innings pitched. No earned runs. 1 hit, 2 walks, 4 Ks, and then again on Sunday, 5 2/3, 3 earned runs, 5 hits, no walks, 5 Ks. That is extremely serviceable from your 5th starter.
Yeah, dude, it's fun watching him because you'll see like he takes that first inning to kind of like get his pitches honed in like a little bit, and it's sharp, it's crisp. He gets in this down. It starts like he feels like, okay, I'm confident now, and he starts kind of like picking up his pace like a little bit. I appreciate seeing that.
And he just keeps pounding the strike zone.
Yes,
he's like, I'm gonna have this fastball go this way. I'm gonna have this fastball go this way. I'll have it go that way, and it's all gonna be in the zone. Good luck trying to hit it. I'm going to challenge you with it. Also, he should have gone 6 innings on Sunday. David Bell did the 5 2/3 thing and yanked him and then screwed me out of a quality start that cost me in my fantasy baseball league.
Yeah, I would like to see some of these pitchers go longer. I mean, of course, like the ones that can, maybe there's some guys that might be a bit gassed. But right now, the bullpen is struggling like a little bit. So there's sometimes like, give them that other inning. Yeah. See what they can do.
Well, he had 86 pitches. He could have gone one more batter.
Yeah, and even like that Hunter Greene start, the last one he had, I wanted to see him go one more, although he was in the 90s with his pitch count, but I think it was still like a pretty close game, maybe like 3-0 at the time. I can't remember what it was. But it's just, that is reflective on my confidence right now with the bullpen. Normally I'd say, take him out of there. Let's have, somebody go in there. Like it would have been like a cruise, but now it's not June.
It's June and they're gassed.
Mm-hmm.
That's been their biggest problem, is that you had to use these guys, especially to bail out a few guys who had some rough starts, where then you're stretched thin, and then you're like, all right, then who do we call? So this is the problem that they ran into last year too. But instead of someone going out and Connor Phillips going 3 1/3, or someone going out there 2 2/3, and they're like, go punt again, the offense went and picked him up. You just don't see that this year, where it's just been all straddled on the back of the starters and the bullpen.
Mm-hmm. And maybe we'll have like one game out of the series where all the bats come alive, and then they just go silent.
Or they just do it in the first game like they always do, like what's happening right now, where it's 7-1. But Carson, like 86 pitches, he had struck out that last dude, and then Bell comes walking out. I'm like, this is just what they do. It seems like they're just trying to cheat the system by being like, well, you know what? We could have this guy and avoid the 3-runner rule.
That's what it really feels like.
You're not outsmarting it.
Yeah, and it's not really helpful at this point. But, I wish they'd have some, get some length more of these guys, especially with how the bullpen has been as of late. But that is really great seeing Spires throw that well, and especially Hunter, dude.
Yeah, and then on the bullpen day was that Tuesday? Yeah, it was Tuesday, ain't it? Nick Martinez had an opener. Then he pitched 4 innings, 3 hits, no earned runs.
Mm-hmm.
And then he pitched well again tonight as just a starter. I'll give it to you, it's Miami, but still looked solid, dude. And a 0 in the earned run department, pretty rad. Yeah,
man, he's been looking good and having limited rest here. Still, if you're throwing strikes, I really, really like that. I mean, that's something to be said right now amongst some of the people coming out of the pen.
Yeah.
But, Martinez has just been so good for this team.
And then Wednesday, Lodolo got a little shelled.
Yeah, man, that blister is an issue. It seems like he just doesn't have control of his out pitch, and that makes these hitters feel like they aren't, going up against Goliath now. So they have a lot more confidence, and you can tell Lodolo is just a little bit confused about how to go about pitching right now.
Yes,
and
because his fastball's flat.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. Like, there might be some with his blister. It could be again with his knee. It could be his foot. Could be the back and the way that he torques. That's finally starting to fade a little bit. But when your fastball isn't cutting like it does inside or away from batters, and then you're not landing your curveball, you're a little ineffective. 5 2/3, 8 earned runs, 11 hits, no walks, 6 Ks. You hope he rebounds against the fish.
Yeah, man. Hopefully he feels it. I feel like he was throwing a lot more balls. It seemed like he was throwing behind and counts a lot, just not feeling it. He just seemed to have trouble with the curveball. I imagine there's still at least some sort of lack of sensation with the blister. It seems like such a dumb thing to talk about a blister, but I mean, if you're just like throws it off just a tiny bit, that little finesse is having some issues. That's what I think it has to be. It's a combination of the blister and maybe being sore or tired in the foot, leg, whatever.
Yeah, or not having been able to pitch this much in the big leagues.
Yeah, there's that too. He's still a baby.
He's still a baby, which is another thing you're a little worried about. That is just like, even if they are in the stretch, are they going to start shutting dudes down?
That's something else to think about.
I mean, they don't have the depth in the starting department to be able to do that.
True.
To be competitive. Mm-hmm. So, and if they start to do that, and then you're really signaling, yeah, we fully punted on this one. Sorry, guys. Sorry bad. Just don't come here. Don't even think about it.
We'll get rally towels next year.
Yeah, we're gonna have the Scotch Turf Builder Merkin Night.
Merkin. I love it. Look it up.
Yeah, look it up. Google it. Don't go to incognito.
Google it.
Google it. And then Friday, Abbott was a little short, 4 1/3, 2 earned runs, 7 hits, 1 walk, 8 Ks. A lot of big counts. And then if he couldn't put them away, they got a hold of it. Mm-hmm. So that was the bummer. But it seems like Abbott's been up and down with that. The earned runs is cool. The length, you wish you got more, but the 8 Ks, that's 8 guaranteed outs. That's real cool.
He keeps finding new ways to win or just in that game adjust what he's doing. So, I mean, it's really fun watching him. But still, I am concerned about his arm at this point because it does seem like they're kind of getting petered out.
A little bit. He's been up and down, man. But again, he's still 10th in the National League in ERA with a 3.18.
Nice.
So you can't be too worried. So you look at that and you go, man, those are some pretty good starts for the week. And they went 500.
Yeah, man, it's such a bummer. And that's just been like the theme. The Reds just can't seem to string together these wins.
No, because either one department fails, one aspect of the game falters, and someone who they haven't been carrying their weight aren't really picking them up. I mean, the bullpen this week wasn't great either. A lot of crooked numbers in there. A lot of them. Yosever Zuleta gave up 3 runs this week in 3 2/3. Buck Farmer, 2 2/3. He gave up no earned runs. He's been very solid. Justin Wilson, 2 innings pitched, 3 earned runs. Jacob Junis, 1 1/3, 3 earned runs. And then add on top of that, another inning and a third pitched and gave up 3 runs. So Tony Santino's looked good. He only gave up 1 earned run and 1 2/3 innings worked. Fernando Cruz is fucking cooked.
Man, that's such a bummer because I was so high on him at the start of the year. Fun story, and he was more than serviceable for the Reds in seemingly that 8th inning high leverage situation. And just right now, it just seems like his arm just isn't feeling it. I don't know. He's just a much different pitcher currently. You
know what I would do?
What's that?
You want to know what I do? How I fix Fernando Cruz?
Lay it on me.
I send him to AAA. Mm-hmm. Put him on the Phantom IL with arm fatigue.
It's fatigue, man.
It's just God. You know what? I think I messed it up.
I slept on it weird.
Yeah, I just farted funny. Mm-hmm. Put him on the 15 day. Mm-hmm. Maybe send him down so then you get him another 15 days. So that's 30 days without him. You bring up Zach Maxwell.
Yeah.
They've already talked about how well he's pitched in AAA. You made some moves to get rid of some high leverage dudes. He's been down there killing it, cruising, and saving games. Call him up because this guy's cooked. And it's not any discredit of his own. It's just, hey, man, he's 34. He's my age. Mm. And him and I, both athletes. We know when we're tired.
Extremely, yeah.
Extreme athletes. Both have great splitters right now. Mm-hmm. We both are throwing the ball as effective as possible with how tired we are.
You've been doing great, buddy.
Thanks, man.
You've been working through it. I'm so proud of you.
It's been a lot, but I made it work. So it's time to, let him chill for a little bit. Either put him on the Phantom IL or send him down for a little bit while he's got the options and bring up Maxwell. Because that's the other spark that you're going to need. And Sam Moss looked great. 2 innings pitched, 1 earned run. But when we kept looking at this in June, and there were a lot of zeros and not a lot of crooked numbers throughout the weeks. And looking at them for the month of June, the third best bullpen in all of baseball.
Yeah, they're doing so great, just cruising along. And it seemed like every week they were just such a consistent, solid core for the back end guys. And now it's just a completely tale of two cities.
Yep. Tale of two titties. Mm-hmm. Got to bring up, hopefully, guys like Emilio Pagan come back and help stabilize things a little bit. But the bullpen wasn't the reason that they lost the games on Friday and Sunday. It was the offense. Do not buy into the snake oil of the Monday night start in the series in Miami that the offense is fixed. Okay? Just don't do it. It's not accurate. It's not how it works. I'm not trying to take it away from Santiago Espinal. He had a great week. But if he is someone that you have to keep in your lineup, albeit DH, second, third, or left field, then you have a problem.
Yeah, that's not an ideal situation. Nothing against Santiago. He's a great defensive player, and he can pull out the stick every once in a while, but he's not a long-term solution for these ongoing throughout this season issues.
No, not at all. I mean, dude, look at it. He had, over the week, 15 plate appearances, 8 hits, 3 singles, 3 doubles, 2 homers, 3 RBIs. And he also had, I think, 4 stolen bases on the week as well. He had 2 stolen bases, both of them on Sunday. They went back-to-back on Sunday, and then the offense fully disappeared. Because Tyler Stevenson hit 2 homers Saturday. The swing it's been what it has been, which is he pounds the ball, he barrels it, he just gets unlucky. India had a homer, but then you look at guys like TJ Friel, who started to get a little heat up a little bit. 250, 400, 250, 97 weighted runs created plus, almost an average baseball player. Stuart Fairchild, 53 weighted runs created plus for the week. Novi Marte, minus 23. Ellie De La Cruz, minus 25. Spencer Steer, minus 41. Ty France, minus 67. Luke Maley, minus 100. Eric Yang, minus 100. Does that sound like an offense that's putting up runs?
Not at all.
No. It's bad.
Yeah, it is not good. And the guys you've been really wanting to step up. Some of them do. And, singling out some players like Noelvi, I know he didn't have, he had a very truncated, preseason and started the season. So I love seeing his hands will have these at bats every once in a while. You just see like the potential for him, but it's like, man, you just really wish he had the time early on in the season to get that all figured out. And it's just upsetting that he's our solution right now. I have so much faith that he's going to be a tremendous baseball player, but you're watching him kind of fail right now and trying to figure it out, and he just goes back and forth about being able to like trust his hands, and just he's stepping in the bucket way too much at the plate.
Yeah, I mean, Cowboys pointed that out in the broadcast that he's doing it. So if Cowboys up there seeing it, then everybody's seeing it. He just hasn't fixed it, or someone hasn't told him yet that he needs to fix it, which would be insane to me. Someone has had to have said something. But in 24 games, so it's not including the homer he hit tonight, 93 plate appearances, 2 home runs, 12 runs, 8 RBIs, 4 stolen bases, with a walk rate of 3.2% and a K rate of 33.3%, 182, 226, 295, with a weighted runs created plus of 40.
Yeah, man, he's an easy out at this point. They know how to exploit him. Still tremendous athlete. He just needs to figure out how to get that swing going and just know how to, keep your weight back, all that stuff. It's so easy to hit a fastball. What are you doing, man?
Yeah, come on.
But they'll like pitch him outside, throw him like a slider or something. It starts on the outside part of the plate and falls off. And by the time he's already stepped, has his open stance. There's no way he's connecting that ball with any power. He's going to roll over on it. And that's just how he's been getting a lot of his outs.
Yeah. He's just not looking like the same dude. He's not like the thing he just did right there. Top of the ninth. He thought he got all of that thing, turned on it. But you know what he actually did? He hit 2 under it, and he flew it too much with not enough power because he hasn't built that up over the years so far. I feel bad for him. We hoped that he would just pick up where he left off last year, but he was in AA, AAA, and just was progressing, and his swing was fine-tuned, and it sure looks like it's not fine-tuned right now. And if there was someone up here, if someone wasn't hurt, that would play second base, and you could put him at third, you could whatever. If Matt McClain was healthy, I'm telling you wouldn't have had to rush Novi Marte back.
Correct. And same with CES. There was other like solutions that we would have for it, but yeah. Just a bummer because he is a tremendous athlete, but he's just one of those guys you really wanted to see him come back with that sweet swing.
Yeah. But I know Ty France homered and doubled tonight, but he before that, he just was not looking good. So if you're not getting average production, mind you, from first, third, left field, center field, and right field, then you're not scoring runs. You're not winning games. And you could have fixed it.
Yeah, you really could have. It's a bummer, especially when we're sitting here looking at all this information. It just confirms all the stuff that a lot of people have been talking about, and especially us been harping on it for a good while.
Yep. Ian Jabot will start a rehab assignment August 8th as well, so he can come back after that forearm strain and getting all shot up. Pagan, like we said, can come off the 8th, and Suter's 2 to 4 weeks ahead of schedule. He could be back as soon as next week.
That's awesome, dude.
Or the week after.
And that tracks with him. He apparently is very good at recovering well from injuries.
Yeah.
So, yeah, anything we can do to shrink down that time for you to get healthy and back out on the mound, because we need you.
Yeah, well, he's got those real loose muscles from keeping his hands real and close.
Keep them up real tight.
Real tight. No news on Brandon Williamson still. Like, literally nothing.
That is crazy. We're going to find out, like, he was in some sort of, like, homicide or something. I have no idea, but I cannot wait to watch the Netflix series on what he did.
Brandon Williamson running underground gambling in Bangkok. He was running a Russian roulette FanDuel league. we just haven't heard shit, and that's fucking crazy. Because that's another guy that we're like, he's a lefty who can pitch really well and did for stretches last year, then got sick and never recovered from it.
Yeah, I don't get it. It's just another thing that reflects back on this kind of like murky situation with the Reds medical staff, because there's just been way too many injuries and then this lack of certainty with what is actually happening. That is one of the biggest things that bothers me with this organization currently.
Yeah, and with the manager having a background in it, also thinking he's a doctor. Ellie De La Bombe, baby. Third deck, freaking pummeled. Look at that smile.
Dude.
Let's go.
Second home run. Does he have 2 doubles as well?
Yeah. Wow. So he has 10 total bases on
Dang.
the night. Wow.
The kid up there got it. Right?
Wow.
Fans for life. Look, that kid's going to be a baseball fan for life. You know how much money he's going to invest into that Marlins stadium? You know, that's how you develop fans. That's how you develop like a fan base that's going to generate money, revenue for generations.
Generations. Man, that was cool. Pummeled. Dang. Lift off Ellie. Stare at it for me, baby. Man, it is cool having him on your fantasy baseball team. I'm telling you.
That's awesome.
And on your team in real life, but... Well, when they're all playing together and winning. I don't know. But yeah, this is 8 runs tonight, so they're only going to score 1 tomorrow.
Yep.
That's how it works. Looking at the rest of the schedule, 4-banger against the Fishy Wishies at the Fish, and then they go to Milwaukee for 3. Then they come back home for 3 against the Dirty Redbirds.
Dirty Birds.
Started to fall off a little bit because they suck.
So bad.
Dick. Off day. And then at home, 3-banger against the Royals. And then at Toronto for 3. At home for 4. Or at Pittsburgh for 4. Monday off. August 27th, 28th, 29th. At home against the A's. And then a 4-banger against the Brewers at home.
Oh, wow. That is
August.
That's quite the month there.
There are some very winnable games in there.
Not only are there some winnable series that you have, but you also have the opportunity to climb back up in your own division there. You're playing the Brewers, playing the Brewers for a couple series, the Pirates, Redbirds. This is an opportunity here, and there's not too many more opportunities left.
Nope, especially against the two of those teams in front of you for the wild card, one of them leading the division. Whatever happens with the Brewers happens with the Brewers. And like we've always said, it's not who you play, it's when you play them. And the Brewers without Yelich, not great. They don't score a lot of runs. So
now is the opportunity. We're playing a couple sub-500 teams before we play the Brewers with the Marlins for the next 3 days when you're watching this. And then they got the A's for a 3-game series at the end of the month before they play the Brewers again. So hopefully they can just get some momentum, and beat up on some teams in your division.
Let's hope, because that's clearly the strategy.
I mean, you don't have too many more options on things you can do. Like winning is like the sole focus right here. And hopefully when we play the Blue Jays later, I'm not sure if a Joey Votto is going to be called up.
He could. He hit a dinger in Buffalo, dude.
Just don't roll that ankle or anything. Just come on, buddy.
Keep him on ice. Keep him locked up. No bats on the ground, no rollerblading, no mopping, none of it for Joey.
Keep him off any Mounties. He can't be any horses.
No donkeys, no moose.
Yeah.
Keep them separated.
Just give him a thing of molasses in a cabin and he'll be fine.
He'll be fine. God, it'd be great to see Joey. Like, he just gets called up for the one series.
Oh my God, I'd love it.
That'd be great. That'd be such a Joey thing too, where he's like, I just want to play the Reds.
I wonder if he's talked to like management about that. Be like, hey, if you got to bring me up for a series, why not make it the Reds?
Why not? Come on. We're out of it. We sold at the deadline. Come on. So Martinez did a very good job tonight. We covered that. Nick Lodolo, Abbott, Greene against the Fishy Wishies. Spires, Martinez, Lodolo against the Brew Crew. So you feel good, looks good. You hope for the best, and then you round third and head for home. What do you got, buddy?
I'm pretty much just going to be at the Commonwealth Sanctuary for like the next month, it seems like. I think I got like 4 different dates there.
Same?
Yeah, and one of which is going to be Cool Show, man, which is, it's not stand-up. It's kind of like a interview fun game. I don't know. One of our buddies, Giles Chickering, does it. It's a super fun thing. Please come out and watch that at the Commonwealth Sanctuary in Dayton, Kentucky. Billy.
Do it. I am... August 16th, I will be at the Commonwealth Sanctuary, along with August 18th, I will be at the Commonwealth Sanctuary, so come check me out for either one of those shows. And then August 29th, I will be leaving for Italy.
Woo, get out of here.
I'll be gone, baby. I'm going to be down there in the olive country, just doing this the whole time.
Yeah.
Sucking down Aperol Spritz, putting out long cigarettes on kids.
Oh, you got to love that.
Only having one button on my shirt done. It's going to be great.
Dude, do you like wine? You're a wine boy?
No.
No?
I've started to like some wine, but here's my thing. I drink like half a glass and I'm like, yeah.
That's fair enough.
I try. I'll probably get over there and I'll come back like, oh, have you guys had natural wine?
Yeah, you're going to be so cultured when you come back.
You could be like, have you guys heard of this? It's called pizza. It is.
Have you had this wine, Yellowtail?
Did you have this Carlo de Rossi? It has a basket. You can just carry it around. I think it's probably my fault. I mean, right after like what I refer to as my college days, one time my buddies and we stole from Kroger the Carlo de Rossi big woven, and I like housed a whole one of the red, and then I went in my buddy's backyard and just yacked it.
Oh, you got to, man.
Then went back and drank another half, and I was like, I feel fine. I'm gonna go home. And I got home. I got out of my car and yacked again. So I probably ruined wine for myself.
You could. I mean, you just got a little too cultured that night. That's all.
I did have cheese floating around. So yeah, thanks to Sports Drink for hosting the audio of this podcast. They're a coffee shop in New Orleans. Check them out. Also, intheclutch.com. Very cool Mariner stuff we just posted. Not red stuff. You know why. And use the promo code NASTYBOYS. 10% off. Pretty cool. The other thing, too, I mean, Nick Castellanos, ex-Red, have the shirt that says, Have News, Will Homer.
Did he homer tonight?
I don't know. With the stock market crashing, his odds for homering also plummeted. It was not a good return on your investment if you bet on Nick Castellanos to homer.
Yeah, buy the dip.
Buy the dip. So, thanks for having me in the dunge, dude.
Anytime, brother. Glad to have you here, and glad to have you all here.
Yeah, it's just so nice. So, also, I want to shout out somebody really quick. I didn't catch your name. I just want to say thank you. I was sitting in my seats on Sunday, and this guy comes over, and he goes, "Hey, are you Billy from the new Nasty Boys?" And I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Hey, I watch your podcast every week. I live in South Carolina, so like I don't get to watch them regularly. So I keep up with you guys on Instagram. I love what you're doing. Keep going."
Aw, thank you, dude.
Thanks, dude. Appreciate it. I wish I would have got your name for one, and for two, I want that photo of us. I felt like I looked real sweaty.
Yeah?
Yeah, I looked real sweaty. I was so hungover too. But yeah. Thanks, dude. So this goes out to you, and thank you all for watching and or listening. And as always, go Red Legs.
Go Red Legs. I knocked it over.